This is Jim McGinnis, author of Tending to the Past. This is an excerpt from the book. Actually, the book is a collection of essays wrapped in a narrative, and I call this October 14th. Quinn sat himself down on the green bench in front of the school and pressed pause. He unwrapped a peanut butter and honey sandwich and took a bite. It was orange blossom honey he bought from the Harvey's Grove store on 192. Two ladies in there had sworn that it would help him with his cough. It didn't do the trick, but it sure tasted good. Either way, it was a beautiful day, and he had come outside to enjoy it. Blue skies and ultraviolet rays, he sang to himself, invoking an old Jimmy Buffett line for the occasion. He had made a habit of dropping whatever he was doing when he heard the outdoors calling. It was so easy to get wrapped up in the task at hand that the wonders of the day could slip on by. Quinn was determined not to let that happen. Brian Williams had revealed the awful news the night before. Florida was now the third largest state in the Union. Quinn groaned at the thought. His grandfather had foretold Florida's fate long ago. Air conditioning and Disney, they will be our undoing. Mark my words. Quinn did mark them, and thought of all the spineless, greedy politicians who contributed to the fall. Still, on days like this, it was hard to blame anyone for wanting to be down here. 75 degrees, slight breeze out of the north, and a clear sky so blue it defied description. As hard as they tried, they couldn't completely destroy paradise. Not yet, at least. Today was nothing short of glorious. A fine October afternoon, and Quinn decided to enjoy it. "Mind if I sit?" A young woman with dark hair and sunglasses sat down beside him. "No, not at all," Quinn lied. "Not at all." "I see you sitting out here," she said. "My classroom is right up there," pointing in the general direction of the stairs. "I'm Frank Quinn. I can't believe we haven't met." That sounded almost creepy, but I'm okay with it. "I'm Jody Richardson." Quinn was oblivious as usual. He repeated her name to himself. He had the terrible habit of forgetting a person's name right after the introduction. "Well, how are you?" Quinn asked cordially. "Fine, how are you?" she said. "What do you teach, Jody?" "English," she said. "Frank Quinn, that sounds like an old name." "I'm an old guy," Quinn replied. "It's an Irish name, Francis Tiernan Quinn. I share it with a grandfather I never met and a grandson I never knew." There was a long silence. "I'm not sure I have anything to say after that." She made eye contact for a moment and then started to laugh, breaking the tension. "How come you sit out here by yourself?" she asked, returning to her line of questioning. "I like being by myself. Besides, I guess I've driven everybody off." "Not everybody. Yet," she said. Quinn wasn't quite sure he wanted this exchange to go any further. He coveted his time alone on the bench, and this woman was taking him in directions he did not care to go. "I've heard some things about you," she said curiously. "What have you heard of me? Ms. Richardson, is it?" "I've heard you're a dinosaur, and yes, it's Richardson, and I heard you love it." "Love what?" asked Quinn. "Teaching. Kids. You teach history, right?" "American history, among other things," Quinn replied. "Other things? After all these years, you still love it? How's that possible?" she said. "You know," Quinn paused, "no one's ever asked me that." "I'm asking." "You're awfully curious about an old burnout sitting on a bench." And bold, he thought. Quinn glanced down at his watch. Jody took the cue and got up to leave. "It was nice finally meeting you, Francis Tiernan Quinn." "It was nice meeting you, Jody. Maybe I'll see you down here again," she said. "I'll be here, hopefully, every chance I get," said Quinn. After a moment, a voice came from behind him. "Who was that?" "I don't know, someone feeling sorry for me." Ray plopped down beside him. "What in the hell are you doing out here? Shouldn't you be wearing sunscreen or something?" "Just sitting here noticing things, Ray. I read once that Mark Twain was a great noticer." "Yeah, well, I noticed you didn't make the faculty meeting this morning, Mr. Quinn." Frank was oblivious. "I like to come out here every once in a while." "Oh, I see. You don't come by the lunch crowd, but you'll sit out here by yourself." "It's funny," Quinn mused, "how one person slows down from the hurried pace It reminds others to do the same. Normally, folks pass each other briskly. If you're lucky, you'll get a polite hello, maybe a nod of the head or smile. But when I sit here on the bench, all sorts of people stop and talk, even when I don't want them to. Well, thank you for taking it upon yourself to slow down the whole human race. I can smell the roses as we speak. They both laughed, and Quinn raised the middle finger. You know, Frank, this is your weirdo side. Better than my drunk side. Well, you got me there. Ray shook his head. Ever notice how teachers can't talk about education without the discussion becoming a bitch fest? Quinn asked out of the blue. There you go noticing again, Ray said. What's a bitch fest, and where the hell did this come from? Seriously, Quinn went on, we can't talk about things without turning into a forum on how hard and undervalued our jobs are. Ray folded his arms. I read something online last night, Quinn continued. It started out pretty good, a couple exchanges of insight. Then, boom, the complaints started raining down. I don't have enough time on this planet for that shit. It's what we do best, Ray assured him. Complain and then go back to work. How are the grandbabies? Quinn rolled on without acknowledging Ray's attempt to change the subject. Well, it pisses me off, and I bet it annoys the hell out of people outside this profession. It makes them stop listening. Well, what should we do then? It wasn't that Ray wasn't a hard ass. He just didn't seem like he was in the mood to hear the rant. But Quinn, on the other hand, was certainly in the mood to rant or vent or whatever this was. Start complaining about the right thing. Stop bitching about bad pay. You knew that going in. Stop expecting gratitude. Do the right thing for the right reason. Love your country. Close your eyes every night and know you tried to help your country. Did you script this? Ray checked his phone and got up to leave. He didn't wear a watch. Well, that was a quick visit, Mr. Donahue. Quinn tripped the switch and was immediately out of rant mode. You have a way of making people want to get up and go, Ray said. Besides, the bell's about to ring, genius, and he started to walk away. Quinn was oddly amused. Ha! Yeah, folks tend to like me, but they never like me for long. Then he finished the rest of his sandwich.